Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, five, six of you have come. Got to wait for 2, 3 minutes more. Now we start with the judiciary, right? Judiciary, we have finished up the legislature, how they make the law, we all know. How the laws are made, we know. Then we studied about executive in the last chapter, that how these laws are implemented. How these laws are implemented and who are the forces, who are the people who help in the implementation of the laws. Okay. And the thirdly we talked about, now we are talking about judiciary, what basically judiciary is, right? Judiciary, we know that they are the high courts and the supreme courts. These are the one who sees to it that the laws made are implemented properly. They see to it that that is implemented properly. So now the question first arises, why is judiciary important? What is the need of the judiciary? As you have already studied, I think so, as I told you, open up your book and revise it up, you might have seen that. So it says that first point, the answer has 8 points, and you can, for learning this 8 point, it is better that you do it through acronym. Make an acronym means use the first alphabet of all the things and make a proper word, so that you don't skip off. When I'll be taking your oral test or viva of 10 marks, I will not allow you to look into your books. You will have to put on your Zoom. You have to look into my eyes. You have to speak all the points if I ask you such question. So try to learn it. Try to learn all the 8 points. First point says settlement of dispute. So judiciary is needed, right? Because several sorts of disputes relating to property, deceit, fight, murder, theft, etc. We know that these lot of things arise between citizens. It is just not citizen. It can arise between a state and another state. It can arise between the state and the central government. So all these things, right, where there is a dispute between the government and the citizen, where there is a dispute between citizen and the citizen, a impartial or a neutral body is needed to settle this dispute. Dispute is what? Dispute is what? Fight, right? Discord in any form, it is called a dispute. So underline dispute and see the word from the dictionary to get much easier word if you don't understand the word dispute, right? And then the second thing is judicial precedents, right? Very often there are many cases before the judiciary for which there is no law, right? And when there is a no law, then at that time this decisions is taken by the court in the judge. There can be certain laws where all of a sudden there can arise a dispute which is not there in the constitution. As I told you, constitutions are amended, right? There can be such kind of a thing which does not have any law, which does not come under any category. So this thing, suppose there was a fight between the Shariat, that is the Muslim law, and the country's law. Then the people said, you are in India, so you got to follow the Indian law as well as your religion's law. So such kind of controversies if arise, the court is there to handle the dispute, the controversies, right? So that is judicial precedent. Next is interpretation of constitution. At times nobody knows the detail of the constitution. Our fundamental rights can be confiscated anytime the government servant can do anything wrong, anytime the parliamentarians can do anything wrong, the legislature, the legislative council can make create anything which is unconstitutional. So there is this court which tells them that you are going against the law, you are going against the constitution. So this is the interpretation of constitution. Then it is advisory jurisdiction. Advisory jurisdiction means that Supreme Court, High Court, these judges play a role of advice also. So this Supreme Court is a kind of advisory to the president. If there is such any occasion where president is not able to take the decision, he can call upon the Chief Justice of Supreme Court, Chief Justice of India, and he can ask his constitutional, um, you can say, opinion. He can ask his guidance. He can ask his advice that this step I have to take. Is suppose when there was this GST or demonetization by the present Prime Minister, he might have called the Supreme Court Chief Justice that hope I am not doing anything against the law, because there is opposition party. There are many people who will really raise a finger that you have done something against the law, and even the whole government can fall, because as we have studied the collective responsibility, if a particular minister takes a wrong step, even it can lead to the people, I mean, take away the power of, they cannot be in power anymore. It can be like that. So any such case where the prime minister or president feels that they have to take a much larger step, they have to take a much larger decision, and they want to know its constitutional standability. So what happens? They take the advice of the judges of the High Court or judges of the Supreme Court. In the state level, they take it in high courts, and the president and prime minister, they take the advice of the Chief Justice. Clear? Clear? And the next thing is public interest litigation. Now, what is this PIL? PIL, you have to understand that there are some people who cannot afford the fees of a lawyer, and justice is not done to them. They are they are being injustice in, they're facing injustice as many sphere, if it can be like that. Or there can be a group of people, the NGOs, or somebody who cannot afford the fight with the other party, other bigger party. So what happens? So that is public interest litigation. Such kind of lawyers are appointed, which are appointed by the government, and they don't at a nominal charges, are at no charges at all. So it is called as PIL. Now you are going to do a spade work. The question for you is, recently on something huge, something very important topic, PIL has been put in the court. What is that? About what? Why this PIL was taken over just recently, within a day or two? Now you have to tell me the case, a PIL case which has been taken in the court. It has been taken of in a big case of which involves the whole of India. It has been taken. So what is it? You have to study, you have to do, and tell me tomorrow who will be the first one to tell me, right? So next we go to protection of basic rights. So judiciary, that is judge is needed, courts are needed, so that our fundamental rights are safe. So our fundamental rights are safe. Do you understand this? So it is taken in that manner. Now the next thing is helpful in socio-economic change. Yes, socio-economic change is whatever changes are brought into the society, normal life. That is what. Now what changes? The changes means when new law has been brought in, new things have been brought about. So for the welfare of the people to elaborate it, that how it is helpful to us, how it is helpful to us. This all things are done according to, it is done according to this. All right, it is done. So do you understand this? These points have been understood by you. So the next is to establish rule of law. Rule of law in the sense that every country has to have a rule of law. That's why it is a democracy. That's why it's a republican country. So then a rule of law means when a country has some rules and regulation, this is the court who sees to it that a rule of law is maintained. That a rule of law means everybody follows the rule. Everybody follows the rule. Okay, is it clear? So all the 8 points are clear. Make an acronym of it. Learn all the 8 points. I can ask you anytime. It has to be on your tips. It has to be on your tips, right? Now we'll go to the next one. Now what is next one? Next one says that, now you know what is rule of law, as I explained to you. Rule of law means before, like when we say in monarchy, when there was king and queen, there were exactly, rule of law is what? My word, if I'm a king, my word is a law. If I want to follow a law, I will follow. I don't want to follow a law, I will not follow. If I want to take advice, I'm a council of minister, I will take. If I don't have a council of minister, that's also fine. I'm the Raja, I'm an empire, I'm a king. So my word is law. That was the occasion. But now in democracy, in constitutional form of government, there is rule of law. Rule of law means a law is made, rules are made, and every citizen have to follow that rule. That is called rule of law, right? Now there is one more question. When we say that, why there is a need for independent judiciary, right? Need for an independent judiciary in India. Okay, independent judiciary means that they should not be influenced by any party. It should not be influenced by any high ups, let it be president, a prime minister, or a big shot. It should not be influenced by anything. It should be impartial. Then only it will be able to do the justice. All right, then only it will be able to do the justice. So that's why they say that. Okay. So that's why they'll be able to do the justice. So that's why we need independent judiciary. Now, why? First, it interprets the constitution. Interpretation, again underline the word interpretation and see its easier meaning. Interprets means it translates, it tells us, simplifies, it tells us in the easier form what is there in the constitution, because every citizen of India has to abide by the constitution. Let it be a person of a small status, a person of a high status, he has to be governed by the constitution. So it is judiciary which interprets the constitution. So that's why it has to be impartial. That's why it has to be impartial. Impartial in the sense, otherwise what will happen? It will be following, it will be influenced by the ruling government. It can be influenced by anything, right? Interpretation of constitution. Is it clear? Next is to strengthen federal nature of Indian polity. Our country is a federal government. We have government in the state level, government in the center level. So if the constitution is not impartial, it can favor anybody. It can favor a person in the state, it can favor a person in the center. But no, it has to follow the rule of law, it has to follow the constitution, so it has to be impartial. So that's why it is needed that it has to be independent, right? So that's why it is needed that it has to be independent, right? So because it strengthened the federal nature. Strengthened means we as a federal government, we feel good that yes, we have a strong independent judiciary, so hame koi bhi khatra nahi hai, right? There will not be partiality anywhere, there will not be prejudice anywhere, there will not be bias anywhere. So the decision taken would be truly impartial or neutral. So it strengthened the federal nature. Okay, and the next one is guardian of fundamental rights. The fundamental rights given in the constitution, the fundamental rights given in the constitution, it clearly says that nobody can infringe or confiscate our fundamental rights. Hamara fundamental rights, hamara adhikar hai, it is ours. Nobody can play with it. So who's guardian? Guardian means rakhwala, caretaker. Who is the caretaker of this fundamental right? This is Supreme Court. So anybody as powerful as a president, as powerful as a prime minister, as powerful as a chief minister, as powerful as a IAS or IPS officer, nobody can touch a common man. Touch a common man in the sense, a common man's fundamental rights. Why? Because high up we have a constitution, and anybody plays up with our fundamental rights. Who is the guardian of this fundamental rights? It's the court. It is the judiciary. So we are safe. So we as a common man are safe. Do you understand this? These points are clear to everybody? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Very good.
yes,
Very good. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So shall we head towards other? यहाँ तक सबको clear हो गया ना बच्चे? Okay. अब अगली बात वो क्या कहता है? What is the third point it says? It says, what are the provisions ensuring independence of judiciary? Right? अब वो क्या बोलता है आपसे? वो सिर्फ ये बोलता है कि how can you be so sure that judiciary is independent? हो सकता है when a chief justice or a judge of a court, he has to be always obliged. I mean, the president, the prime minister, they are so high up, the high politicians, they're hi-fi people. They're hi-fi people. The chief minister is so hi-fi. या हाई कोर्ट का जज उसके सामने कुछ भी नहीं होगा, तो चीफ जस्टिस को झुकना पड़ सकता है, केसेस उनके अगेंस्ट करने की जगह वो उनसे इन्फ्लुएंस हो सकते हैं. इट कैन बी लाइक दैट, नो? सो व्हाट टू डू? हाउ डू यू फील दैट कि जज को किसी का डर ना हो? What has been done in our institution or in constitution कि जज को किसी से भी डर ना लगे. तो जज को किसी से भी डर ना लगे, तो हमारे पास ये 5 पॉइंट्स है. और ये 5 पॉइंट्स क्या है? ये 5 पॉइंट, पहली बात ये पॉइंट है कि प्रेसिडेंट अपॉइंट्स द जजेस, राइट? जजेस कोई छोटा मोटा आदमी नहीं अपॉइंट करता, तो इसलिए हमें किसी का भी डर नहीं है. अ जज इज डायरेक्टली अपॉइंटेड. सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजेस आर अपॉइंटेड by the president on advice of the chief justice, so they don't play up at the hands of any political party. They are not scared of any political party. You understand that? So it is the Indian constitution sees to it कि जज कोई छोटा मोटा आदमी नहीं है, कि जब वो जस्टिस देगा तो ही विल बी इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय समबडी एल्स, क्योंकि वो डरेगा कि ये पॉलिटिकल, मैं चीफ मिनिस्टर के अगेंस्ट जा रहा हूँ, मैं उसके अगेंस्ट जा रहा हूँ. सो ही इज नॉट स्केयर्ड बिकॉज प्रेसिडेंट, द फर्स्ट सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया, appoints the judges of Supreme Court, so they are neutral, they are impartial. The other thing is, next point is, a judge cannot be dismissed from his services once appointed. एक बार जज बनने के बाद अगर सपोज करो he would have been influenced by the CM or PM or anybody, he would have always been scared कि मुझे PM की बात माननी है, मुझे CM की बात माननी है, मे बी एनी ऑफ द डिसीजन जो उनको हर्ट कर देगा, तो कल ये मुझे निकाल सकता है. यू अंडरस्टैंड? क्योंकि छोटे मोटे लोग तो होते हैं ना स्केयर्ड, they will not take any chances with any of the high big ups or big shot, but judges can take, because nobody can dismiss them till they are there in their office. Because कितनी बार ऐसे decisions हो सकते हैं which are not in liking with the big high ups, but judges are neutral. Judges have that much of guts, are dare to be neutral, because they cannot be removed from their chair, right? And next it says salary and allowances. Salary and allowances, they are not paid by any office. If suppose you are working in a particular organization, right? My boss gives me salary. You're working in a particular factory. In that factory, your boss is giving you salary. So can anytime you go against your boss? You can never. You can never. He can throw you out from your job. He can very easily. Why will he keep you in his factory? Because you are going against him. You are back answering him. You are instigating the labor against him. You are doing all sorts of malpractices or wrong practices to defame your boss. So will the boss keep you in the factory? He'll throw you out, no? He'll throw you out. So when you are in a factory or an institution or an organization, when you're working, you will please your boss. You will not go against the boss. But here what he says, the salary and allowances of the judges of Supreme Court are not given by any authority. Nobody as a person gives them. Neither the chief minister, the prime minister, or the president, nobody. They draw their salary from Consolidated Fund of India. As I said, that is emergency fund, consolidated fund, the money kept in the treasury of India. These people get the salary from there. So they are not bound for the salary to anybody. कि शायद ये मेरी सैलरी बढ़ा देगा, शायद मेरी सैलरी डाउन कर देगा, शायद मुझको निकाल देगा. So they are not. That's why they are independent in taking their decisions, right? And the next one is decisions are immune from criticism. If any decision a Supreme Court judge has taken, you cannot discuss or debate about it in the parliament. आप उनके खिलाफ डिबेट नहीं कर सकते हो पार्लियामेंट में कि इस जज ने ये रॉन्ग डिसीजन दिया, इस जज ने ये सही डिसीजन दिया. Do you understand? So they are kept in such a respectable position. कोई भी डिसीजन सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जज लेता है, क्योंकि कोई छोटा मोटा डिसीजन नहीं लेता, देश के लिए लेता है, किसी के लिए भी लेता है. You cannot discuss that. They are immune underline the word immune and see the word again in the dictionary, and you can write the meaning in a simpler form if you don't understand the word meaning of immune, right? So their decisions are immune from any criticism. Nobody can openly criticize, not the media, not the parliament. You cannot criticize. The chief justice ka jo decision hoga wo final hoga. Do you understand this? And the next one is the retired. When the judge gets retired, right, if he gets judge gets retired, उसके खिलाफ कभी भी कोई केस नहीं तब उसके बाद उठा सकता कि एक बार इन्होंने ये वाला डिसीजन दिया था, एक बार उसने ये वाला किया था. और neither this retired judge can be appointed to any lower court. वो वहां पर जॉब नहीं कर सकता लोअर कोर्ट्स में. और neither उसकी जो प्राइवेसी है, that time whatever decisions he had taken, nobody can criticize or talk about it about the retired judge. और उनके खिलाफ वहां पर आप उस पुराने केसेस का कोई कोर्ट केस नहीं चला सकते. So that's where when all these provisions are there, when all these provisions are there, so it is automatic that the judges are not scared of anybody. The judges are not scared of anybody, and they take the decision in a very liberal manner. ठीक है? They take the decision and in a very liberal manner. यहाँ तक सबको clear हो गया? सबको clear हो गया? So just it is 30 minutes past 1 o'clock. So that means we just talked about in 30 minutes only. We can take more 5-10 minutes. Can we take? Can we take?
Yes,
Hope you are not tired.
Yes,
okay, now look into this flow chart in page number of 119. Indian judiciary का system क्या होता है? Indian judiciary is a 3-tier system. It has Supreme Court. You have to learn this to draw. If there is something comes, write a short note on Indian judiciary. If it comes in, write a short note on Indian judiciary. You should know that this may carry an extra marks. Right? It has, what are the 3-tier this thing of judiciary in India? It has a Supreme Court at the highest level. It is also called as apex court. In the state, we have the high court at the highest level, and in district we have district court. These are the three levels, right? And these 3 levels, they are given the functions of this. You study this nicely and keep it by heart, because in the final also these things will come. Abhi to aap keh sakte ho ki if it comes in half yearly or unit test, you can easily open the book and see from here. But the final exam would definitely be on the classroom thing. So just put a tick mark there and write important so that you can be in touch with this, right? Now last topic I will be touching here when it says about Supreme Court. It talks about Supreme Court. Now Supreme Court is what? Try to understand. So organization of Supreme Court is what? Organization means it has, now one mark question, start underlining it. It has 1 Chief Justice and 25 other judges. Underline this. So in 1950, there were only 8 judges. And in 1956, it reached up to 11 judges. Right? 1960, there were 14 judges. 77, it became 18 judges. And then after 1980, it increased to 25 judges. But now the question here is, now what is the present number of judges in 2020? Everybody write it there. 2020, how many judges are there in the Supreme Court? This second question I ask you. Okay? So tomorrow you have to answer me this. How many judges are there in the Supreme Court? Okay? Okay? ये कर दोगे आप. Next out, appointment. Appointment में 1 number question, 1 mark question. Article 124A. Tick mark there. Please mute yourself. किसी के घर में बहुत शोर मच रहा है. Mute yourself, darling. I purposely don't mute everybody because I need to actively talk to you. I want active interaction. That's why I don't mute. आपको जहां लगता है कि आपके घर में मम्मी पापा गाना गा रहे हैं और डांस हो रहा है, वहां पर शोर मच रहा है, तो सोच लो उसी टाइम और अपने आप को म्यूट कर लिया करो. ठीक है बेटा? So now article 124, underline 1 mark question. Yes बच्चा.
Ma'am, there are currently 31 judges in the Supreme Court of India, including the Chief Justice of India.
So why did you tell me now? It was a secret. You could have talked to me in chat, no? You could have kept it for yourself. अब आपने ये spade work कर लिया. No, nobody else will open. Nobody else will open. So there are some certain secrets, no? I want others also to open it up. right? If you would have seen, तो उसको फटाफट आप chat में लिख कर दे देते, and don't openly, because I want them also to do it. Okay, so now 1 mark question again. Article 124 A को underline करो, ठीक है? And then you say that judges are appointed by the president with consultation of Chief Justice of India. ठीक है? So चीफ जस्टिस के होता है वो सीनियोरिटी पे चीफ जस्टिस बनता है, जो सबसे सीनियर जज होता है वो चीफ जस्टिस बन जाता है, और चीफ जस्टिस की एडवाइस और ओपिनियन जो है लेकर प्रेसिडेंट ओथ देता है बाकी के जजेस को सुप्रीम कोर्ट। ठीक है, अपॉइंटमेंट हो गया। अब कंट्रोवर्सी, दैट इज अ लिटिल ट्रिकी वन, इट इज नॉट देयर इन एनसीईआरटी, so I'll discuss about it later on, we will talk about it, ये क्योंकि talk वाला है ये। Then come to its qualification. So qualification, as we know, he should be citizen of India, right? He should have served in high court for at least 5 years, right? Or he should be a distinguished person in the eyes of president, a well-known person, something who has done worth something, and then in a seniority basis they see the age and the thing, and then he's appointed, right? And salary allowances, here it is given an old one, you don't have to stick to it, the time has changed. So here you will see it from your thing and bring the latest salary and allowances of the Supreme Court. This is not right, this is wrong here. Okay, many of you I think so wrote that only in your exam also, unit test, no, not unit test, the practice test. If I asked you the same question, so that same question I wanted you to browse and then write. Somebody, many of you wrote 90,000 and this, that, and all, that you had to browse and write the latest one. But I am not, as such, it is not that important that it is your marks are counting somewhere. But always don't stick to the book when such kind of a thing is asked, right? So you have to have the actual one of the latest. Okay? And oath of office, who gives him the oath of office? It is president. 1 mark question again, it is president, right? Then tenure and removal, as I told you again, article 124 you have to write, that is he's appointed, he should be of the age of 65, right? And then he is not removed anytime until and unless he does something too drastically bad, and that way it is impeachment. Now remember the word called impeachment. He is impeached, again impeached in the sense that it is if he does some unconstitutional function, right? Or he displays unsoundness, किसी ने mentally something ill हो जाता है, कोई इंसान ऐसा कुछ ऐसी चीज आ सकती है, then ground of proved incapacity or misbehavior in performing their function, कुछ ऐसी चीज दिखाई देती है, then there is a word called impeachment. Underline the word called impeachment. Impeachment means what? Impeachment का मतलब removal, और वो removal ऐसा नहीं होता. Removal means he is again in the parliament, discussions takes place, and then a proposal is brought about. And now next question here, write it down. Recently, we know that now it is first, right? Who is the Chief Justice of India? One question. Who is the Chief Justice of India? One. Number two, the former Chief Justice of India, the former, मतलब इससे पहले वाला, क्योंकि जो है वो recently हुआ कुछ भी, इससे पहले वाला Chief Justice of India, write about his present position now. Where is he now? He is also appointed into a special position. And now who knows it, don't tell me. Right? I have talked to you, I think, few days back also. And third, I want to know is, what I want to know? Yes, before that, there was one Chief Justice whose impeachment was proposed in the Parliament. Whose impeachment, name that Chief Justice whose impeachment was proposed in the Parliament, but it did not materialize. उनको impeach नहीं किया गया, उसका नाम क्या था? So these three questions, are you writing it? Write this. Tomorrow you have to tell me about these three questions. Clear? Clear? हाँ जी बेटा.
Please repeat the second question.
Now, what was the second question? Now, somebody tell me the second question. Come on, somebody repeat all the three. Sanchi.
Yes, ma'am.
Repeat all the three.
Okay, ma'am. Who is the present Chief Justice of India is the first question. The second question is who was the former Chief Justice of India and is presently on a portfolio, a famous portfolio. And the third question is the former Chief Justice of India who was whose proposal of impeachment was present in the was gone in the Parliament but did not pass.
Very good. So all the three questions, and previously also I gave you small 1 mark question. So one already Sanchi told, no problem. You look at it and I can ask you something else also related to it. Actually said 31, but you have to see to it, right? So who is the Chief Justice, present Chief Justice of India? How many judges are there in Supreme Court now? So what is the tenure of this Chief Justice? Today, whatever you can study, because in your online unit test, it can be from anywhere, anything. The present thing, what you have to done, it will not be bookish everything, no? So you have to have more knowledge about it. And tomorrow, let me see what special thing one you tell about Indian judiciary system, right? I'm ending up here only. I'm ending up tomorrow. I will take up the power and functions of Supreme Court and High Court. All right. So everything. So now your tests are over. Okay. First, tell me any doubt, anything you want to ask from here tomorrow, because tomorrow I shall be taking the next one. So anything you want to ask, any doubt you want to ask, I'll clear your doubts here, so that tomorrow very nicely we'll go off to the power and function of Supreme Court. Okay. So I think I was clear. Was I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes. Say yes or no also, no, bacha. I wait for your yes or no. Okay. So we end up here. Okay. And